No tripod yet. I'm holding this phone up in selfie mode. I gotta be quick before my arms get tired. It's Tuesday night. I'm starting this episode early. It's gonna be a two-parter. I'll shoot a little tonight and a little tomorrow night and get edited by Sunday. Because Thursday I've got a pal flying in, old college buddy. Haven't seen each other in 14 years. So let me get this going now, and I'll flip this camera around and show you what I got up there. I often forget when stuff's that high up. But fortunately, shelf life. I got a nice butternut squash. Gonna make a soup. So tonight we'll just roast it up, and tomorrow night we'll make the soup. There's a little memento of the beeps, some fur. I've got the paw print in the other room. She's still here. All right, butternut squash soup. Let's start with this. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. So a lot of times when I make butternut squash soup, there's a few different methods, a few different flavors I like. We're going with sage on this one, okay? So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just halve it down this way, scoop out the flesh, put it down in a pan, and put a little bit of water and sort of bake it until it gets nice and soft. But this time, I think what I'm gonna do is take the ends off, and I'm gonna peel it, cube it, and roast it. We're looking at a little bit of snow tomorrow. I think the roasted will give a nice, the roasted cubes will give a nice caramelized flavor for a winter night. There's snow on the ground. I just want to get all the peel off. I'll finish up, and then we'll cube it up. All peeled up. Now what I'm going to do, and be careful when you're working with these type of things, okay? Your knife can very easily slip on this. So keep your fingers out of the way. Keep your hand above the cutting area. Go right down the center. And, oh, this one's nice and fleshy. Not a lot of seed stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my seeds, well, I'll just go right here, because what I want to do is separate them. I'll put this flesh in the compost, but I do want to get the seeds out, because we're going to dry those, toast those, and we'll use them as a garnish. Nothing like some nice crunchy squash seeds right on top of your squash soup. So there we go. I'll deal with the seeds off camera. And now, just cube this up. Gonna get my toaster oven on. Nice big pieces. And we'll get them on the roasting pan. And that's all we're going to do tonight. I will pick up tomorrow. Or maybe later tonight. We'll see how the evening goes. So let's get these all in this pan. Should all fit, hopefully. You know, there's no sense cranking up the entire chamber of the stove when what you're doing fits in the toaster oven. Just seems wasteful to me. In we go. I'm on 350, and we're just going to let those roast till they're nice and caramelized. And while I'm doing that, I will separate these seeds, and probably at the end I'll put them in there in a little side dish and roast them up in there. Just dry them off. So maybe I'll do more tonight. We'll see. I decided while doing this, might as well show you what I'm up to. Just taking the same cleaver and take this nice fleshy bit. And I'm just scraping out the seeds. Simple as that. Okay? Now what I will do is I'll wash them first, get all this stringy stuff and the pulp off of them before I dry them. Toast them. So there we go. That's a nice little garnish for 4 bowls of soup, I think. And I'm going to find some nice spices that I can use on these. And we'll see you when we're ready to toast. I'll wash them up. There we go. Try to use as much of it as you can. Seeds are great for garnish. All right, butternut squash. Look at this. Look at that caramelization on these things. Oh, they're so soft. So what I'm going to do now is I'll refrigerate these in a container, and tomorrow evening we'll put the soup together. These are ready to go. Okay, gang, it's Wednesday night. Just home from work. Here's our squash from last night. Beautiful. It's been in the fridge in this nice little Corningware. Actually, I'm not just home from work. I did a little shopping. I told you guest action Saturday. Did some grocery shopping. Got me a little Jamaican patty at the market because I'm going to make this soup tonight. And of course, we'll have a taste test for the show. But this is my dinner tonight. This, and I also got a little takeout container of spicy popcorn shrimp mac and cheese. Gotta love those Adams steam tables. But look at this. Remember I told you I forgot about the butternut squash? Got one stray sweet potato on the counter here. Sweet potato. So this soup is basically for Saturday night for a starter. So that's not really that much. So what I'll do, same exact process. I'm gonna peel this, cube it, pop it in the toaster oven, which is already hot from warming up my patty. And while that's happening, while that's in the oven, we'll get the prep going. So let me get this taken care of, and then we'll see you over at the Marble for some prep. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. That sweet potato's almost done. Let's get our soup on. So we're gonna go with a little classic mirepoix. Classic French, right? Onion, carrot, celery. I peeled, I washed, and so let's get that in. And my neighbor gave me this Ninja. She had, I don't remember the story, it was a few years ago. She came walking over to the front door. You want this? Brand new in the box, unopened. I was like, hell yeah. I can't remember, I think she got it as a gift or something and already had one and didn't want to offend the person. I don't remember, but I wasn't going to ask questions. Hell yeah. So let's just big chunks, because we're going to use the Ninja. We'll just quarter the onion down. Maybe I'll go a little smaller. Keep the work down on this machine. The soup's going to get pureed. So there's no sense sitting here and spending a whole bunch of time dicing neatly. Right? Brunoise. And I've got these apples. They're getting a little soft. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I'll give them to the chickens. They were from juicing, and I didn't use them all. And they've been kind of taking up space in the fridge, so they're a little bit too leathery to eat. So there we go. A little mirepoix. And you know what? I was going to put sage in the soup. I've got some sage, summer 22 sage, that I hung in the kitchen here to dry. We'll crumble some of the soup, but let's take a few leaves and make it part of our mirepoix. Can't hurt, right? All right, here we go, Ninja time. Now, what can help this, there's still some big chunks in there. I'm just going to put just a splash of water. Of course, we're going to add water to the soup. So let's get a little in there, just to loosen things up. There we go. So we got almost like a liquid mirepoix now. Take a look at that. All right, stove on. Got my soup pot, warming that up. Get a little olive oil in there. You can see I've got the rings from already using the blender in here. It's all right. It's a nice stainless steel pot. Doesn't hurt anything. A little bit of extra virgin. Now this is going to splatter because I put water in this, so be careful. So what I'm going to do is turn it. It's already smoking. This could be a splattering thing. So I'm standing back. There we go. Water and hot oil. Never a great idea. Okay, mirepoix in. Put a spoon here. Ooh, it smells good, the apple. Great choice. And adding a little bit of sage right to that. Beautiful. Oh, sage and apple. Amaze. All right. You know, I was just thinking maybe a little garlic, but I'm going to leave garlic out of this. Same with stock. I don't really have stock. I did pick up some chicken backs today to make some. But you know, with butternut squash, these type of soups I've found, I prefer water. I really want that delicate, delicate squash flavor to come through. So here's our butternut that we did last night. We'll get all that olive oil. In fact, I think I'll even get the spatula. Get that precious oil out of here. There we go. And now, in the toaster oven, I've got the sweet potato. Allow me to grab that. In it goes. What a great combo. Whoa. We got some mesquite bees here. Get in that pot. Where's that other piece of? There it is. All right. Squash, sweet potato in. Now what I'm going to do, as I mentioned, just go in with some water. And I use the same Ninja vessel. This way we're getting more of our mirepoix, sage, and semi-cleaning it out at the same time. All right, we'll save some if we need thinning later. Bring this to a boil. And before I start seasoning, salt, pepper, a little more sage, etc., I'm going to give it a little taste, just the liquid, and see about where it sits. So here we go. Still cold, it hasn't heated up yet, but you know what? I think there might already be enough sage, at least for the initial cooking. Definitely wants a little salt. Oh, great flavors. Sweet potato and butternut squash together. Black pepper. Everything stir, and let's repeat the taste. And then we're just gonna, should be coming up to a boil any second now, and then we're just gonna turn it down and let it simmer. The squash and potato are already soft from roasting, but we want them to really soften down in the soup so we can just stick an immersion blender in there and go for it. Yeah, it's warming up now. Well, you know what? I'm trying to go easy on salt in my life these days. So, it tastes like it wants more, but I don't want to deceive myself. I'm going to wait until the puree, and then I'll adjust my seasoning. So, I can go with a little more water because I'm going to let this simmer uncovered. I'm not going to put the cover on it. So, let's put the rest of that. Crank it up a little. Okay. Wednesday night, Tomorrow I head to the airport, 3 o'clock, pick up the guest. Friday I'm off, nice long weekend with company in town. So I'm going to sit down right now and do a little relaxing. And while I do that, I'll turn this heat down. I'm going to set a timer even, because I'm going to go sit down. I'm going to say 15 minutes. See you in 15. All right, and just before I go sit down and relax, remember our seeds from last night. I had thrown them in a bowl of water in the fridge. Then I took them out, I drained them, got as much of the pulp out as I could, and I put them out on a towel. So they're semi-dried, still a little water on them, but not much. Just a couple of grains of salt. I'm going to go with a little bit of cumin. And a little of this sumac. Let's just slide those in. Got the toaster oven on at 3 1/4, 325. We just want to dry these out and give them a little sort of light toasting. All right, time to chill. See you in a few. Timer went off. Gonna shut this. And let me pop this phone in the old tripod. Move the soup over here onto the marble. Let me zoom in a touch. And I got the trusty hand blender out. Let's give it a whirl. Now that we're blended, let's go in for a taste, because the spices take on a different character once everything's been blended together, particularly the salt. Let's see whether we need more or not. Man, I nailed it with the sage. Doesn't need another bit. A little cracked pepper. Yes, maybe a few grains of salt. I use my salt very judiciously. It's definitely a key component, not just for salty flavor. It facilitates other flavors. See, it doesn't taste saltier, but it tastes better because of the salt. There's a point that you hit where then it starts tasting salty. You probably put too much. I think now I might have hit the perfect viscosity. Oh. All right. This is for Saturday, but let's do a little taster bowl. So spoon a little into this little miniature bowl here. Just a teaspoon, a couple of tablespoons full. Remember, I had my Jamaican beef patty, and in the car right outside the store, I had my spicy popcorn shrimp mac and cheese. And right over here I have the seeds. When we do this Saturday, I don't have it right now. I'm doing the rest of my shopping Friday. I'll get either some creme fraiche or maybe just some nice plain Greek yogurt. So a little dollop of yogurt with the seeds on top, a little either the crumbled dried sage, or I have to go out there and look. I believe there might still be some fresh green leaves hiding in the depths of that plant. And this is not for Saturday, but I happen to have some of the crackers I forgot all about last week with the oyster chowder. Keep them in this airtight jar. They're good for a while. So let's give it a go. Soup, I'll get a cracker. Actually, first I'll get a soup just with some seeds. Oh, baby. Yes. Cracker. Dynamite. So here we go. Picking up a weekend guest tomorrow. Nice long weekend. Got some great meals planned for the weekend. This will be a little soup starter for Saturday. With the yogurt and these seeds on top, it's going to be phenomenal. A little bit of fresh sage or crumbled sage. Either way, delicious. Butternut squash and sweet potato, almost half and half. Simple mirepoix, celery, carrot, onion. I did add some apple, sage, salt, pepper. Simple, simple, simple. We'll see you for the next episode. Come on, let's do it. All right, tonight's cooking's done. Got to get up for work. I'm in here chilling out, getting a head start on the editing for Sunday's show. But one thing I forgot to mention that I wanted to bring up is that the soup is done. It's on the counter in the pot, cooling down now. It's Wednesday night. The soup is for Saturday dinner. As soon as it cools, I'm going to freeze it. Put it in an airtight container and freeze it up. I think I told you in last week's show, 108. Your freezer is your best friend. It's a tool. You got to figure out how to use it. I'm going to freeze down the soup, and not only does it preserve it, but it goes to ice crystals, and then when the ice crystals thaw, there's a new textural element that gets introduced, okay? I also froze, I brought home the 2-pound tenderloin filet tonight for the beef Wellington. That's in the freezer, okay? And I'll take that out Friday morning for a long, slow thaw in the refrigerator for Saturday dinner. Learn how to use that freezer. See you next time.